I was lucky. I found what I loved to do early in life. Woz and I started Apple in my parents' garage when I was 20. We worked hard, and in 10 years, Apple had grown from just the two of us in a garage into a $2 billion company with over 4,000 employees.
Apple, a company that started in a garage, has become one of the most iconic brands in the world. Its journey from a small startup to a tech giant with a market valuation of over $1 trillion is nothing short of remarkable.
Now, Apple making history as the world's first trillion-dollar company.
Apple just hit $1 trillion in market value.
Of the day, and Apple, for the first time in history, a company is worth $1 trillion.
Apple today became the first American company to be worth $1 trillion.
But this success didn't come easily. Apple has faced numerous challenges and undergone significant transformations over the years. The story of Apple begins in 1976 when Steve Jobs, Steve Wozniak, and Ronald Wayne founded the company in the Jobs family garage. Wozniak, the technical wizard, built Apple's first device, the Apple I, by hand using a wooden casing. The Apple I was far from the kind of computers we know today and was designed as a kit computer that users would assemble themselves. Despite its simplicity, the Apple I laid the foundation for what was to come.
One man was an engineer.
All through high school and college, I was designing all these computers.
One man was a dreamer.
It doesn't matter whether you like or dislike Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs was making so many people miserable, and he said, "This is you would have to be certifiable to bet against him."
And together they changed the world of computing, one home at a time.
The following year, in 1977, Apple launched the Apple II, which was also designed by Wozniak. Unlike its predecessor, the Apple II was a self-contained system with a plastic case and a keyboard. It was far more commercially successful, largely thanks to the VisiCalc spreadsheet app, which made the computer a must-have for businesses. The success of the Apple II propelled Apple into the spotlight and set the stage for the company's future endeavors. However, not all of Apple's early products were hits. The Apple III, released in 1980, was plagued with problems, including heating issues that caused the solder holding parts of the motherboard together to melt. Users were even told to pick up the system and slam it on a desk to fix it. The losses from the Apple III were incalculable, and it was only the popularity of the Apple II that kept the company afloat. In 1983, Apple launched the Lisa, the first consumer computer to feature a graphical user interface, GUI, and a mouse. But with a price tag of $10,000, the Lisa was a commercial failure.
But today, for the first time ever, I'd like to let Macintosh speak for itself.
Hello, I am Macintosh. It sure is great to get out of that bag.
The Macintosh, released in 1984, was a different story. Priced at $2,495, the Macintosh was the first mass-market consumer computer to feature a GUI and a mouse, and it became a significant success for Apple.
On January 24th, Apple Computer will introduce Macintosh, and you'll see why 1984 won't be like 1984.
There have only been two milestone products in our industry to date. The first was Apple II in 1977. The second was the IBM PC in 1981. Come on. Let's be fair. What we need now is the third industry milestone product, and that's what Macintosh is all about.
Despite the success of the Macintosh, Apple faced internal strife. In 1985, Steve Jobs attempted to oust then CEO John Sculley, a move that backfired and led to Jobs being moved to the role of chairman.
Tell us about your departure from Apple.
Oh, it was very painful. I'm not even sure I want to talk about it. What can I say? I hired the wrong guy.
That was Sculley?
Yeah. And he destroyed everything I'd spent 10 years working for.
Frustrated with his diminished role, Jobs left Apple and founded Next, a computer company focused on high-end workstations. Meanwhile, Apple continued to struggle under a series of CEOs, including Michael Spindler and Gil Amelio. In 1997, everything changed. Steve Jobs returned to Apple after the company purchased Next for $400 million. Jobs wasted no time in turning the company around. He streamlined Apple's product line, cutting various projects, and focused on making the company profitable again. Under his leadership, Apple launched the colorful iMac, in 1998, which became a commercial success and marked the beginning of Apple's resurgence.
I'm incredibly pleased to introduce iMac, our consumer product. And iMac comes from the marriage of the excitement of the internet with the simplicity of Macintosh.
The early 2000s saw Apple revolutionize the music industry with the launch of the iPod and the iTunes Store. The iPod became a cultural phenomenon, and by 2007, Apple controlled 70% of all legally downloaded music. It was also in 2007 that Steve Jobs made a pivotal decision. He changed the company's name from Apple Computers to Apple, reflecting its shift from being just a computer company to a broader tech company.
Thought about this and we thought, you know, maybe our name should reflect this a little bit more than it does. So we're announcing today, we're dropping the computer from our name, and from this day forward, we're going to be known as Apple Incorporated to reflect the product mix that we have today.
The same year, Apple unveiled the iPhone, a device that would go on to become one of the most successful products in history. The iPhone's success was followed by the launch of the App Store in 2008, which further cemented Apple's dominance in the tech industry. The iPad, introduced in 2010, continued Apple's tradition of innovation and became a bestseller.
But we think we've got something that is. And we'd like to show it to you today for the first time. And we call it the iPad. Let me show it to you now. This is what it looks like. I happen to have one right here. That's what it looks like. Very thin. It's just like this.
Despite the success, Apple faced challenges. Jobs battled pancreatic cancer during his later years and at times had to hand over control of the company to Tim Cook.
I'd like to take a moment and thank everybody in the Apple community for the heartfelt support I got too. It really meant a lot. And I'd also like to especially thank Tim Cook and the entire executive team of Apple. They really rose to the occasion and ran the company very ably in that difficult period. So thank you guys. Let's give them a round of applause.
When Jobs passed away in 2011, Cook took over as CEO, continuing to lead Apple to new heights. Under Cook's leadership, Apple has released a slew of new products, including the iPad Pro, new MacBooks, the Apple Watch, and AirPods. The company has also faced its share of controversy, from Bendgate, where the iPhone 6 Plus was said to bend in people's pockets, to the time when Apple put a U2 album on everyone's iPhone without asking. There were also performance throttling issues, where Apple admitted to slowing down older iPhones to prevent unexpected shutdowns. Despite these controversies, Apple's branding has remained strong.
Our goal is to make the best personal computers in the world and to make products we are proud to sell and would recommend to our family and friends. And we want to do that at the lowest prices we can. But I have to tell you, there's some stuff in our industry that we wouldn't be proud to ship, that we wouldn't be proud to recommend to our family and friends. And we can't do it. We just can't ship junk.
The company is known for its sleek, minimalist designs, and its products are often seen as a status symbol. The success of the iPhone, in particular, has made Apple a luxury brand, with people willing to pay a premium for its devices. Apple's ability to create products that are not only functional, but also aesthetically pleasing, has helped it maintain its position as a leader in the tech industry. Today, Apple continues to innovate, and its market cap has surpassed $3 trillion. The company has left behind competitors who simply couldn't match its products or its staying power. From the Apple I to the iPhone, Apple has revolutionized consumer technology and changed the way we live. Not bad for a company that started in a garage.